it's RJ Ronquillo here, and this is the Two Notes Opus. This is something that I've wanted to see from Two Notes for quite a while now, and I've been a really dedicated user of Two Notes stuff since the start of my YouTube channel. Basically, it takes their awesome cab sim technology and adds a preamp and power amp simulation. So essentially, you're getting an all-in-one package of multiple amps and cab simulation all in this small little box that can actually fit neatly on a pedal board. So what does this mean? Well, for me, it means that I can use this to go direct to a mixing board if I'm playing live, or direct to an audio interface if I'm recording or making videos like this. And I can do that all without the use of an amp head and a cab, or an amp head and like a Captor X, which is what I've been using most of the time lately. And I can pair this with my pedal board and use it kind of like you would use like a Helix or a Quad Cortex, but with real pedals. Now you can still use this as a basic cab sim with a real amp, but just keep in mind that this is not a load box, so you do have to use this with a real speaker cabinet or an external load. But in this video, I really want to focus on the 5 preamp emulations, the power amp emulation, and how everything sounds and how everything works. And maybe I'll hook up a little pedal board to it, because really that's how I plan on using something like this. And really, I think that's what the Opus is all about. And with all of the Two Notes products, the companion app, Torpedo Remote, is extremely useful for tweaking your presets, but it's not necessary. And I'm going to show you both the app and how you can tweak from the pedal controls as well. But before I actually plug in, I want to show you the inputs and outputs on this device. Starting with the right side, you've got a USB-C port, which allows you to hook this up to your computer and use the Torpedo Remote app via that way. Like I said previously, you can use your smartphone or iPad as well wirelessly to control the parameters. You've got a 3-position in-level switch, which allows you, so with this box, you can plug an instrument level like a guitar cable, which is how I'm going to do this today. A line level, which might come from, let's say, a keyboard or maybe like a rack effects unit or something. And an amp level, which I said previously in the intro that you can use this as a cab sim with a real tube amp. And of course, they do put a warning that says, when using an amp, ensure a suitable cabinet or load box is connected here. So this is a speaker out jack, which you can connect to a speaker cabinet or maybe another load box, like another Two Notes load box. And this is your input, whether you're plugging in, a guitar cable or your speaker out of your amp. You just got to make sure that you adjust the 3-way switch accordingly. Moving on to the left side, we've got a MIDI in jack if you want to hook this up to MIDI, 1/8-inch stereo headphone jack, 1/8-inch aux in, I guess if you want to jam to backing tracks or something. An XLR DI out with a ground lift, so if you run into any noise, you can switch that. I will be using the XLR out today, but you also have the option of a 1/4-inch line out. Okay, so I think I'm going to let you guys listen to just a few of the presets real quick. I've got my Les Paul plugged in to the input, XLR out right to my audio interface. No other pedals, no other amps. And the first preset is called One Fried Lexi, which is probably a Hot Rod and Marshall type thing, Plexi. Number 2, Atomic Punky. I feel it's a Van Halen type of sound. Now you can hear some of that simulation of like a plate reverb, and I'll get into the app so you can see all of the different things that you can add to your basic amp sound, which include the room that it's in, the miking, the extra EQ and reverb and stuff like that. Okay, so I want to find something a little bit more on the clean side, a little bit country. Slap back me. Like a Rolling Stone. Smoky 70s. So most of these first presets are going to be your preamp simulation, the power amp simulation, and everything combined. But like I said, if you are going to be using like a real tube amp with this, you can turn off the preamp and power amp simulation and just have the cab sim. So it's pretty cool that you have that option depending on how you want to use it. And actually, there is multiple ways of connectivity, and in the included quick start guide, they give you different ways that you can route this, which I will put this on the screen. But for the purposes of this video, let's stick with the standalone way, which is using this as a real amp, basically. Puppet Master. Sweet Child. Walk of the Panther. I feel like I'm a little out of tune, but I think I saw that there is an onboard tuner. Let's go to that real quick, and then we're going to go to the app. There you are. Tuner. Lounge vibe. Pulp Fiction. There's lots of onboard presets, but now I want to show you what the app looks like and how you can make your own presets. Okay, so now I have the Torpedo Remote app on my iPhone linked to the Opus. You can see that when I switch presets on the Opus, the presets on the app change as well. So we're going to start with this preset 35, which is called Prosecco Supernova. So visually, on this page, you can see that we have some sort of a cabinet in some sort of a hall, I guess, as well as controls for the two different mics that are miking the cabinet. But if we hit this view button, this is where we can see the different preamps, the power amp. There's EQ, enhancer, reverb. Let's start with the preamp section. So we've got the Albion preamp, which I believe is kind of like a Marshall Plexi style. The Nifty 50, which is going to be like a 50 watt, maybe hot rodded Marshall style. And I'll play all the different preamps so you can hear the difference. Peggy, which is actually a bass preamp based on like an Ampeg. The Foundry is going to be your, Fender style, clean. And the Foxy obviously is going to be based on a Vox style amp. So back to this Albion. Let me actually go through the different preamp emulations so you can hear the differences. Here's the Albion. Nifty 50. Maybe a little bit more aggressive than the Albion. The Peggy, which is a bass amp, but with a guitar. The Foundry, like I said, is going to be your Fender-y type of amp. A little cleaner. And you can see that the knobs haven't changed as I go through the different preamp emulations. Foxy. Now, as far as power amps, you're not really necessarily given different power amp names, but you are given the option of changing the tube of the tubes of the power amp, whether it's single-ended 6L6, so on and so forth, push-pull. Right now we're set to a KT88, so this is a very Marshall-y, Plexi-style preset. But I could do something like a single-ended 6L6 power amp, which is more Fender-y. So I'm actually mixing a Marshall-style preamp with a Fender-style power amp. Let's try a push-pull 6L6. Back to the KT88. So you do have control over the power amp volume, contour, which is almost like the body, as well as depth. Also the choice of a pentode or a triode layout. Pentode is going to be a little more aggressive sounding. And something else that Two Notes has always provided is a set of post effects, which include EQ, so you can tweak the final EQ on all the frequencies, as well as an enhancer, which is almost like another way of EQing, or at least controlling the overall tonality. And then they give you a little bit of a reverb emulation, which you can select either more like a room sound or like an ambient sound. So that to me is almost like if I was using a pedal. Whereas the room is going to be like a room emulation. So if I go to like, I don't know, Cathedral, that's a little much, right? Compared to the ambience mode. And you can control the size, the echo, and the color as well. Oh, and I forgot to mention there is also an onboard noise gate. So let me use a single coil guitar for this so you can hear how it works as far as taming down any 60 cycle hum. By turning on the gate, right, I can actually just tap this learn button and it will kind of analyze the buzzing that's occurring in the current state that my guitar is in and the position that it's in. And kind of sets the threshold and the setting optimally so you don't have to think about it. And the buzz is gone. Power amp. So if we go back to the original screen, this is where you kind of have control over the miking situation. You can have two mics on it, have all these different options as far as dynamic mics, ribbon mics, condensers. You can adjust the volume of each mic as well as the distance from the cab if I want to move it closer or further away, on axis or off axis. You can even have one miking the front of the cabinet or one behind the cabinet, which is really cool. So tons of control as far as the miking situation. And here is where we can also select different cabinets to choose from. The names of the cabinets don't come up until you hit the information button, just so you know. Under cabs, right here on the bottom, 212 cabs or 412 cabs. These are the cabinets that are loaded up. I believe I can swap these out for other downloaded cabinets that I have in my collection that I got from Two Notes. But here I believe you can just click on any of these cabinets and it should load it up. So yeah, Pete Thorne. Okay, so I wanted to show you how you can adjust the parameters just on the device itself and not using the app, but I'll show you how it affects the app as well. So right now I'm on this preset 65, Zeppelin's Inbound, and if I click on the menu button, then I can scroll through the noise gate, preamp, power amp on. So let's go to the preamp. The right knob is actually a button that selects the knob or the parameter you're going to. So with this selected, I can scroll through the different preamps. Hopefully you can see everything switching. Okay, so now once I'm selected to what amp I'm using, if I use this, the left knob, I can select all the different knobs. So if I'm on gain, I can control it accordingly. You can see the amp knob moving here, the gain knob moving here. If I go to another knob, does the same. Press this again, then it kind of goes back to the menu. And then I can scroll to another component, miking on. So this is where I can control the different cabinets. So if I go to this view, then you can see that I can easily select through the cabinets. Yeah, so pretty much you can control everything that's on the app on the device itself. I keep on wanting to call this a pedal, but it's not a pedal. Okay, so I wanted to show you an example of how you can use this, kind of like a real amp with a pedal board going in front of it. And I actually kind of created like a pedal platform style amp preset based on like a Fender amp. I used the Foundry preamp, little enhancer, a little bit of reverb, spring reverb. Now the pedals that I have going into the Opus are kind of a tube screamer type of overdrive and a little bit of digital delay. So here is the screamer. Here's the tube screamer off. So you can tell it really takes pedals pretty well. I'm actually using the new Keeley Noble Screamer, and right now it's kind of like in tube screamer mode. I'm going to switch it over to the Noble's ODR mode. Let me turn down the reverb a little bit. Here is the delay. Okay guys, there you have it. That was a look at the Opus from 2 Notes. If you'd like more information, I'll drop links down in the description. And let me know what you guys think of this. This is an interesting piece of gear. Let me know if it's something that you guys would use. And if you have any questions about it, you can ask me in the comments section. Thanks again for watching, and thanks to 2 Notes for letting me check this out. If you'd like to see more videos like this, gear demos or guitar lessons, click that subscribe button. I'm RJ Ronquillo, and I'll see you in the next video.